Is happening YouTube? How y'all doing today? It is Thursday. Welcome to Thursday. Let's make sure this is on. We are good to go. Appreciate y'all hanging out with me. My name is Joe, just your average Joe. Um, Appreciate you guys hanging. I've been reselling on eBay for 24-ish years, full time about 8 years. But I've been buying and selling stuff. Well, I guess you wouldn't call it reselling. I really wasn't reselling on eBay for 24 years, but I've been buying and selling stuff on eBay for 24 years, going on 25. I've been reselling full time for about 8 years. Um, what does that mean? That means from 2000 up to about 8 years ago, I would sell stuff on eBay, but I wasn't like a reseller. I would just resell something. I would just sell some things on eBay that were like personal things. You know, I remember like card collection, toy collection, things like that that were my own things or just things laying around the house, textbooks when I was in college, just stuff like that, just odds and ends that I was old camera. I remember selling one of my old Fujifilm cameras, just little odds and ends that I just wasn't using anymore around the house, is what I was initially selling on eBay back in the day. But about 8 years ago, I went full time after I left my job at AT&T, and here we are. So fast forward eight-ish years, we're here. So anyway, appreciate you guys hanging out with me once again. We got some comments to go over. Sales were dismal between yesterday and today. Kind of back to normal eBay. I'm not saying eBay's back to normal at this point. Hopefully it's not, because we still have about a good 5-ish shopping days. So hopefully that's not the end of this great run that we've had in fourth quarter. But if it is what it is. But anyway, let's go ahead and dive in for the day. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me. If you haven't subscribed, if you haven't liked, if you haven't commented, make sure you do those things. Comment. I'd love to hear from you. Subscribe. I'd love to, I would love to have your support in the journey. And we're on our way to 800 subscribers. We're at like 717, 716, something like that. So we're on our way to 800 subscribers. And if I'm trying to throw some value, some nuggets, some aha moments throughout my process, just to help you guys along your journey. That's what this is more so about. So let's go ahead and dive in for the day. Let's start off with, let's see. Where are we at? To follow up, actually, the Captain Stable. I misread your comment. It was shoes, not shorts. So I went off on a tangent about shorts and not knowing that they were doing clothes. I'm pretty sure eBay does do clothes, if I had to guess, for authentication. At least I don't know for sure, because I'm not in the clothes niche. I'd imagine they do clothes as well, but that wasn't your comment. Your comment was shoes, and I misread that. So that's my bad. So just to follow up on that, I know Yarina pointed it out too in one of her comments, and you also pointed it out. So my mistake there. But it goes back to what I mentioned before. Shoes, same thing. And actually, I had mentioned I had a return on shoes before, and I was thinking about it. I had a return because I said my shoes were new. They were Jordans. I've never actually had a return for fake. I've got a pretty good eye for stuff that's fake, even shoes as well. Jerseys I'd mentioned in the last video, but even with shoes, I do buy Jordans. But normally I can tell if they're fake. I mean, I'm not perfect by any means. Could I pick a pair up and they're fake and I don't know? Yes. I haven't sold a fake yet. I'm sure at some point it's going to happen. But in my case, I had to think about it. I know I said in the last video I had it happen once or twice. I've had it happen once where it was failed authentication, because I went back on my listings, because it was irking me a bit, because I was like, I don't think I actually had it returned for fake. I went back on my listings. I had a pair of Nike. They weren't Jordans, but they were a pair of Nikes that I had listed as new, and they returned them because I had them listed as new, but they deemed them as used. So that's why they returned them. It wasn't because they were fake. So I haven't quite got hit with the selling a fake item yet, which I hope I never do. But I'm sure at some point I'm going to get duped and sell, and it's going to go through it, and it's going to happen. But anyways, it was because I had them listed as new. They had the box. They looked brand spanking new. I thought they were brand new, but the authenticator said they were used. And so it came back as failed authentication for used and not brand new. So I just relisted them as used in excellent, like new condition. And then they resold for, I think, the exact same price, if I remember correctly. Maybe make $10 less or something like that. But they end up reselling. They went through authentication. They got authenticated, and they everything was good. But to follow up on your thing, the buyer or the seller, shame on them for trying to play victim, because You just got to own it and keep it moving. That's all you can do. If I happen to sell something fake by accident, you just got to do better, learn more, and not do it again. And you just got to eat it. To play victim and blame the flea market, that's whatever. But yes, it's good to have that stuff in place. So the captain stable, just to follow up on that comment. Let's go ahead and get started for the day. We had a few comments, not a ton. Yarina says, late start today, but better late, but better than no video. It's been pretty cold here and rainy, gloomy as well. Let me start watching your video. Well, I appreciate it, Yarina. It's a little chilly today. I just looked at the weather. Apparently, I was a little wrong. Let's see. I was a little wrong. Today is going to be cold, like 48 today. Yesterday was like 60 something. Today it's 48. Tomorrow's going to be 55. And then we jump back into the 60s, into the 70s for the next week. Again, like I said before, Carolina weather, man. Like a few days ago, wake up in the morning, it was frost everywhere. It was 25 degrees, freezing, and in the 40s during the day, 38, I think one day, or 42 or whatever. Pretty cold for our neck of the woods. I know for some of y'all, it's like that's summertime, but for us, that's pretty cold. And today it's a little chilly, a little brisk today. I think right now it's sitting at like 48. It's supposed to get up to like 52 or 53 today or something like that. Still a pretty brisk day today for us. And then, like I said, it gets back into the 60s and then into the 70s for the next week. So, Carolina weather, man, you can wake up, it's 25 degrees. And then by afternoon, it's 65. And then the next week it's back in the 70s. And then the week after that, it's down into the 30s again. It's just, anyway. So let's get rolling. Let me reply to your comment and let's, next one up is Samuel's view less lethal. Keep up the grinding. I think it's the first time you've commented, Samuel's. Maybe not. Can't remember, but appreciate you commenting and hanging out and commenting. Commenting helps the wheel turn. So even if you guys just comment, even if you don't ask questions, I love questions because I like digging into stuff, and that helps pull stuff out of me that can help a lot of you guys out that watch. But I love comments too because comments help the algorithm. So appreciate you commenting. Keep up the grinding. Watch out for those scammers. Happy holidays. Happy holidays to you, Samuel. Samuel views as well. And again, thank you for commenting and supporting the channel. Next one up, we got Rise and Grind Picker. Rise and Grind Picker. I think it's the first time you've commented as well. Rise and Grind Picker. Hey, thank you for commenting and supporting the channel. And hopefully I can help you. Sounds like you're a picker and a grinder. Hopefully I can help you along your way, and or you can help me along my way. You know what I mean? I'm not, even though I'm an old dog and I've been around a while, that doesn't mean an old dog can't learn new tricks. They say they can't, but I think they can. Are we stubborn and don't want to and think our way is better normally? Yeah, but that doesn't mean I can't take a thing or two and try to, do better. So, but anyway, appreciate you hanging out. Next comment up is Yarina. Yarina says, that's why I like your videos a lot, because of the rambling. I'm glad some folks do. I know you and the Dark 25 feel the same way, so I appreciate that. But I see them more as someone who speaks the truth and say things just how they are. That life lesson you just rambled about is the whole truth. I am a lot like you. Let's call myself lazy, and my husband is the one with the drive. But it works. It works for us, and I'm very happy with my life. Not trying to become rich anytime soon. Enjoying life as it is. And we are very fortunate too. Also, one of your videos got recommended to me, and that's how I found you and started watching you. And they're addicted because of your and they're addicted because of your personality. Your charisma is unique. I appreciate that. You give me the warm and fuzzies right now. I appreciate you, Arena. Since I watch yours, of course, YouTube recommends more channels like yours, and I can truly tell you that I have clicked on at least 4 different ones and don't stay on more than 2 minutes watching. Well, again, I appreciate your support and thank you for the words. A lot of times, believe it or not, just y'all's positivity and appreciating me doing this kind of keeps me going. There's some days I wake up and I'm like, man, I don't feel like jumping on, and I just want to pack my stuff and be done, because it don't take me long to do the packing and shipping portion, especially with like between yesterday and today, I had 4 orders, 10 minutes, I'm out here, I'm done. But I part of me enjoys doing this, and I do enjoy doing this. But it's like anything else. Some days you wake up and you're just like not feeling it. But I try to be consistent I feel like, you know, y'all's engagement with me helps keep me rolling and keep me consistent with it. So I appreciate those words. Again, it gives me the warm and fuzzies and puts me in a place where I you know, we're going to keep doing this, man. Like I'm not going to stop. So, and this is part of my grind and hustle too, doing this. I mean, this again takes sometimes 30, 45 minutes out of my day. And then I got to do what I got to do for eBay. But again, and sometimes I do it simultaneously, not often, but because I ramble and anyway, but like I said, I enjoy doing it, but it's like anything else. You might love your job, but there's going to be days you wake up sometimes you're just like, man, I just don't feel like it. Don't feel it today. That's anything for the most part. Working out, whatever, you know, there's days you just, you know, you might enjoy working out, but there's some days you're just not feeling it, man. You know, whatever it is, it's just the same. So y'all's words of encouragement really do help and really do help me keep the course, keep grinding, keep rolling, keep doing, and keep sharing. Because, you know, I'm sure today this video will get a few new eyeballs on it, and hopefully they hang out and stay. And, you know, and then just, it just keeps adding and adding. And hopefully at some point I can drop some nuggets that help them out. And some of you older heads that have been around a while, hopefully at some point something gets pulled out of me from a comment that you guys had never heard from me before. And you're like, dang, Joe's still dropping good stuff after watching him for, you know, a year or whatever. And it's still, you know, he's still dropping some good things, you know, from time to time, you know, that give me some aha moments. So it's that value. Want to try to give value along the way. And don't want to lose sight of that. I don't want to just be out here rambling about nothing. I know that happens, but I want to also bring value to folks that are doing this full time or are looking to do this full time. And maybe there's something I can do to help them. Maybe there's something that they didn't think about. Maybe they ask a question that helps them navigate through their journey a little bit better, or makes it a little bit easier for them, you know, based on my experience and what I've done. So that's kind of, you know, just the community part of all this. So I appreciate you guys. I'll just say that. Let's just say that not everyone has the ability or the gift to make videos and get the audience engaged. You're one of the good ones. Well, again, super appreciate it. Got the warm and fuzzies, Yarina. Thank you, ma'am. And I appreciate your continued support and watching as always. I think part of what helps separate me, it's not the first time I've heard the charisma part and things like that, because I've been on YouTube. I've been on Facebook Live for like 6 years. So I've heard that before, the engagement and things like that, you know, that I do a really good job of that. And that's just natural, I guess. I just have the gift of gab to talk and to kind of, you know, I'm just me, and that's just what you're getting. And I don't fake it. I don't, you know, so that comes through and resonates through the video. I think what helps me with YouTube specifically, and I don't see any other content. I don't watch a ton of content, but I do watch. What separates me, I think, is this part. The fact that I actually engage with you guys in every comment. Do I miss one here and there? Absolutely, yes. Obviously, we've worked through some kinks along the way. Now I know I got to click off something on here that says I haven't replied to the comments, and then it shows me everything. But that doesn't mean I've hit every single comment or every reply, because I don't normally see the replies to other comments. But 95% of everything I you know, that I see, at least 100% of what I see, I reply to live, you know, from people from trolls to you folks that have been with me for a long time, you know, and everybody in between, the new commenter, the old commenter, the troll, the person that's trying to rag on me about shipping stuff and used, you know, envelopes. If you've been with me a little bit, you know, with that situation, you know, so you know, and in fact, I just got several of my packages I've gotten from eBay sellers has come in reused packing material. I don't give a shit. But anyway, you get what I'm saying. Like, you know, just I try to, you know, I try to address all of them. In fact, I forget who that guy's name is now. But anyway, that dude, Nick, I think it was, he's a douchebag. He's anyway, but again, for those that have been around and we're here for those couple videos, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, so no, I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Yarina. And I'll stop rambling now. Let's keep it moving. She also says, by the way, not sure if you caught on or not, someone else told you, but the guy that was talking about shoes, not shorts. Yes. I saw your comment and I was like, really? I misread that. That's not unlike me to misread stuff. So that, yeah, my bad. I rambled on about the shorts and clothes and yeah, so that's why I wanted to touch on that. When I saw your comment, I went back and I reread it, and I was like, oh man, Captain Saber, I think it's Captain Saber, Captain, yeah, Stable, Captain Stable. Um, yeah, I had to reread it, and I was like, damn, I did say shorts, didn't I? Man. Anyway, so there's that. Yeah, shoes. So let's keep this going. You already know that's funny. Yeah. So thank you for pointing that out. I appreciate it. Next one up is the Dark 25 says, hey Joe, like I said, there's Joe Knowledge Nuggets in those rambles. I purchased my first home, what is now almost 2 years ago. And when I moved, I started my reselling journey, and it's been helping me pay off a chunk of my upgrades that I need done. I'm full-time reselling now and work 9 to 5. You're hustling, man. Reselling full-time and doing full-time job. Kudos to you, man. It ain't easy, but I really enjoy it. I'm aiming to eventually work my 9 to 5 less, or maybe be done with your 9 to 5 at some point. That's the be your own boss 100%. But dude, I respect the hustle. I wish when I was working at AT&T, and I'll say this to, it's to your point. I wish when I was working at AT&T, I was reselling. Now, I probably wouldn't have been able to resell full time, but you could certainly squeeze in 10 hours or so a week to do reselling and still make, $2,000, $1,000 extra a month. I really wish the whole time I was working at AT&T full time that I had been doing reselling during that time full time. Again, not full time, but 5 to 10 hours a week. You go out a yard sale, you pick up a few things, you sell a few things. When the month is all said and done, you made $1,000 extra dollars. It really would have helped. It really would have helped. Not to say I was doing, me and my wife were both working at that time. We were making decent money, but you can always use a little extra money, and it doesn't take a ton of time to do $1,000 on eBay. Even 2,000. It doesn't take a ton of time to make that money. You put in $300-400, $500, and you can turn that into 2,000. So you profit about, I don't know, 15, 12, $1,500 when it's all said and done a month. I wish I would have been doing it. That'd have been an extra 12 to 15 grand a year, give or take. That would have been helpful. So I'm an advocate of reselling, for even the 9 to 5ers. If you're in a position where you need the extra cash, or you could use the extra cash, if you want to pay things off quicker, do the project on your home, whatever, reselling is a good way to make a few extra dollars and do that. Whether you just want to give yourself a little bit more cushion, or whether you are working 9 to 5 and you're not making enough money to support yourself, reselling is a good way to make up that gap, bridge that gap a little bit, and make it easier for you. So, like I said, I wish, and if I ever do go back to 9 to 5, which I don't think it'll ever happen, but you never know. My helmet business could fiddle fart and go to nothing. We're pretty slow, but we're not, we're doing okay still. But let's say that goes to shit and eBay goes to shit, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm just going to go try to find a job making, 80 to 100K a year, then I'll, go down that pipe, but I'll still resell and make an extra 20, 30 grand a year reselling. You know what I mean? That's just how I'm going to do. And obviously after taxes, fees, blah, 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 that number, those numbers come down. But at the end of the day, I think at this point, I will always resell. The level of in which I need and resell will certainly come down or up, depending on what happens. If my helmet business goes to shit, I'm just going to hammer down eBay and go even harder, like I mentioned the other day, or yesterday, in fact. And just go double down on eBay and spend all my time in cross list and cross platform and marketplace and Mercari and, even set up at the flea markets and shit like that. Like I'd go hard. Because, that's what I would need to be doing to make up that difference, because I would have to double my income, if not even more, just for reselling to make, to sustain our lifestyle for my family and what we need. So anyway, I'm rambling again, but yes, I'm an advocate of really everybody reselling, man. There's enough room to do it. People say it's saturated. There's too many. Blah, blah, blah. Do you know how many people are shopping on a daily basis that are looking for, not buying brand new and looking for that used item that's in like new or great condition still, that has a ton of life, that you don't use anymore, that you find, that you can pick up for cheap and resell it for a little bit of money. I mean, it's the name of the game, man. It ain't going anywhere. I'll just say that. It ain't going anywhere. So, and there's plenty of room. Now, can it make it a little bit more competitive? Sure. But you know what? That just means you got to step the ones that are doing it full time, that are like the real ones. We just got to do a better job. We can't complain about it. We just got to do a better job and get better at it, if that's the case. So fine tune your craft. If you're the full timer, don't bitch and complain about these folks coming in doing reselling. You know what I mean? Just fucking step your game up. You know what I mean? So you'll never find me complaining there's too many people reselling. And you see that all the grumpy old guys all the time on YouTube talking about there's too many people on YouTube, and YouTube affects it, and there's too many people in the reselling game, and it's oversaturated, and you can't really make money anymore. Blah, blah, blah. Don't listen to them, man. Don't listen to any of them. You know how many consumers are out there, man? All of us are consumers. All of us at some point, every single one of us are buying shit. So trust me, not every single one of us are reselling shit. In fact, not a lot of us are reselling stuff. And how many people in your life do you know that are resellers, or that are on eBay reselling shit? Or, you know what I mean? Like, they may put something on Marketplace here and there they don't need. But I mean, that are like legit doing it regularly, not even full time, but just regularly. Like every week they're putting a few extra things up on whatever. How many people do you know do? Not many. I don't. Nobody in my immediate family does anything like I'm doing, even at a small scale. So I'm just saying, but all of us are consumers. All of us are buying stuff. So at some point, we're all buying. So anyway, maybe that's a bad way to look at it. I don't know. I think that's a genius. But all right, let's keep it moving. We're done with comments. That's it. Not a ton of comments. Not a ton of sales. Been pretty quiet. So we had 4 sales for $100, $107.44. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. I also want to touch on, while I'm pulling these orders, the first thing that sold was Skyrim, and then 2 Pokemon games. So Skyrim. So last night I was watching Shed Flips. I watch them occasionally. They're probably one of the channels I watch a little bit more often. Is Shed Flips, and they were talking about how all the stuff, a lot of orders are being delayed, and returns, and not returns, how a lot of orders are being delayed, and just situations they're having with the post office, where things aren't showing up, and they just went into all that. That was their latest video. Last night when I watched it, it was 10 hours old, so I believe that's their latest video. And I don't chime in a lot on YouTube. I don't, they were talking about how they had to do an insurance claim, that they had to go ahead and they were on a time limit to refund the buyer, because eBay's got a time limit on there. Otherwise, if eBay steps in, it dings their account, and they didn't want that to happen. And how, the one item, an item that they did a refund on, ended up delivering later, and that they were just going to let the customer have it and not worry about it, kind of thing. And they're good folks. They're really good folks. You can tell that their personalities and the realism kind of resonates through the camera for them as well. That's why I enjoy watching their stuff. They're real. They hustle. They're a couple. It's a husband and wife. Man, they hustle. They grind. They're legit. They're really good at what they do. But I chimed in and messaged them through the comments and just said, hey, I've had this happen before. If you call eBay, so let me backtrack. If an item gets delivered after you've submitted a refund for the missing item case, right, that hasn't delivered yet, and the customer opens up a missing item, there is a window where the customer, I think it's 7 days or 5 days or something like that, that the customer can go back into the case and ask eBay to step in. That is true. So you are kind of on a time limit. However, let me backtrack real quick. If you just refund the buyer within the 5 to 7 day window, before the buyer has the opportunity to request eBay to step in, and you just refund them, and then the item delivers after you issue a refund, then I have had it happen twice. It happened over the summer for me. You can call eBay and actually they'll refund. Well, in my experience, I'll just say that, in my experience, I've called eBay on 2 separate occasions and I actually got my money back. eBay refunded my money. Now, I don't know if they took it back from the buyer. I don't know whether they just eat it. I don't know the dynamics of how that works as far as on the back end, but they issued my money back to me for that refund, because obviously the tracking then showed delivered and I had already refunded them. So again, I don't know how that works, where the money's coming from, but I got my money back. So that was the first thing that I dropped in their comments was, hey, call eBay. They should refund you if it's showing delivered after you've given a refund. The second part of that, and I did put down that I was going to talk about this in my next video today. Maybe they'll watch, maybe they won't. I'm going to tag them in the video, Shed Flips. They can watch it or not. You know, it is what it is. Doesn't look like they replied to many of their comments. I was going through their stuff. Again, I haven't really, I'm not normally in their comments. I watch them, but I'm not normally in their comments. So I don't know how often they actually reply to their, to people that are commenting on their videos. It didn't seem like in that video, in those comments, I looked at replies on some of them, not all of them, but I didn't see them reply. So I don't know if I'll get a reply or not, but I am going to tag them or at them in this video, and maybe they'll watch this, maybe they won't. But the follow-up to that is also like I had with the video game, the one game I just had the same situation on, was showing missing, or showing they opened up the missing claim. Well, I communicated with the buyer. I was like, hey, and I do this with every time they open up a missing item. A lot of customers are impatient when it comes to something getting lost in mail. In my experience, 99.7% of the time, the items don't get lost. They get delayed and eventually show up. Hence, the last two situations that I just had, they were lost for 2 months plus 2.5 months, and then they finally delivered. I've had situations where I've ordered stuff and it got lost, and then all of a sudden 2 months, 3 months later, delivered. And like, you kidding me? So again, does it happen? Yes. Is eBay going to put you in a little bit of a time crunch? Yes. Can you file a claim with the post office, get your money back from them? Yes. And then the item still delivers. So it's a win-win when that happens, which I just had that happen on two separate occasions. I talked about in the last video. It didn't deliver for 2.5 months later. I open a claim, and then I get my money back from the post office in that case too. Because once they work the case, they're done. They're not going back and be like, oh, we're going to take our money back. Like, how? Like, they send you a check. Anyway, so normally what I do is like, when you file a claim with the post office, I forget the time frame, but before they deem it lost, I think it's 3 weeks or something like that. I can't remember the actual time frame, right? But there is a time frame when you submit a case for an item for being lost. They're not even going to, I think there's communication and verbiage that they give you that it's got to be like 3 weeks or something before you can do that, or before or something like that. At least that's, if I remember correctly, that's how that works, is there's a window before the post office will even entertain that case when you submit a missing item case, or, missing, that they're even going to entertain that case. I think it's 3 weeks. Again, don't quote me on that, but there is a time period, right? So I let the customer know, let's allow it enough time, ample time, because when I see this happen a lot, I've been on eBay a lot. So I kind of just word it really well, like, hey, again, this is just a high level overview, but hey, I understand, your item is missing. I definitely understand that's frustrating. However, I've been reselling on eBay for a long time. I see this happen a lot. If you can be patient, please allow the post office ample time to locate your item and refund it, or deliver it, because I see this all the time where there's delays and it can take up to 2 or 3 weeks. And in fact, the post office won't even deem it missing unless we, give it a good solid 3 weeks. So if we could be patient, I'd truly appreciate that. If it's not delivered by X date, then I'll go ahead and just refund your money. And that'll be that. So most customers are pretty good about accepting that and allowing the time that it needs to go through the process before I can open a case with the post office, before they'll even entertain it, and then give them their money back. I know that sucks to have to wait. I don't like having to have customers wait. It doesn't happen too often. Normally it delivers within several days after it was supposed to deliver. You can also kind of use this verbiage as well and say, I'm going to go ahead and open up a missing item claim with the post office to try to expedite them finding your item and getting it delivered. That also gives the customer, that you're doing what you can do to try to get it resolved. And again, set a date. Like, if we don't get a resolution by X date, I'll go ahead and issue a refund in full. And, and again, I apologize for the delay. Most customers are good with that. I've had that happen many times, and most customers are good with that verbiage, that communication, and are cool with waiting because they understand it's not your fault. It's the post office, and shit happens. Now you're going to get the impatient customer that's gonna, now let me backtrack. Could that customer still have eBay step in and click the option for eBay to step in? Yes. I haven't had that happen yet. Luckily, this doesn't happen too often, but I haven't had a customer get hasty and do that. So, then that could potentially impact my account, because once you have eBay step in, that's usually a ding to some degree on your account. However, I haven't had a customer go through that process because I give them that verbiage, and as long as they're cool with it, most customers are. Now, if that customer is very impatient, they're gonna verbalize their impatientness through the messages. And that customer, you may need to go ahead and issue that refund. Hence the situation I had back in the summertime. That was a customer that was very impatient and was not like, they wanted their item and they didn't care. And I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to refund them. I don't want eBay to step in, so I'm just going to refund them. So there you are going to have, you can tell typically by the reply on whether that customer is going to be patient and cool, or that customer is the impatient one that's going to probably go to eBay once the opportunity presents itself and screw you over basically and not give you time, which is understandable. I'm not saying it's not. I get it, but also have to be understandable. I'm just your average Joe, and most of us are just your average person doing this. And so let's give it time to get found, get located, and get delivered. Okay. But if they're impatient, then you just refund them within that 5 to 7 day window. You let the time elapse until it's the day before eBay can step in, and then you go ahead and just issue the refund. Hey, I'm sorry that it wasn't delivered. If it ends up delivering, I'll contact eBay and I'll take care of it, and you don't have to worry about it. We'll just let eBay know that it delivered at that point, and let eBay do whatever eBay does. And you just give them their money back and keep it moving. Again, 99.7% of the time, it's going to deliver at some point. It may just be 2 months down the road. But then as the seller, so your buyer's taken care of, done, if it's that impatient buyer. But as the seller, I can then, once I usually will keep an eye on those tracking numbers. The last one, I just coincidentally got communication from another one and went back and looked at the original, at the different one, because I forgot all about it myself, and it showed delivered. So we were good there. But the one over the summertime, it got delivered, and I called eBay and was like, hey, the post office denied my claim because it ended up showing delivered like 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 3-4, like a month later, it showed delivered. So the post office denied my claim. So I called eBay up and was like, yo, it shows delivered. How does this work now? Because I gave them their money back because you guys were going to step in and they were being impatient, and now it delivered. So what do we do? And so they issued back me my money. And so there's that. So long story long, because I know what's his name. I forget who it was that picked on me, the drifter thrifter or somebody. I don't want to stay long. I don't want to say long story short, because long story long, that's it. That's in a nutshell. So if Flip Sheds watches this, great, and can benefit from that, great. Call eBay, get your money back. And then I would possibly incorporate that process going forward. But you do what you do. You guys are professionals. You probably know way better than I do, because you got two heads and I'm just one. But at the end of the day, like, I would just probably switch your process a little bit, get you up a little, type up a little verbiage that makes the customer feel warm and fuzzy, send that communication, set a date, and eliminate having to force refunds on stuff that will eventually deliver. Because let's be real, I'm sure y'all feel the same way, whether you're watching this and resell or you're shed flips and are watching this. Let's be real, 99.9%, 99.7% of your stuff delivers. It just may deliver 2 months later. And in that case, yeah, you got to give the refund because you don't want eBay to step in. I get that. But if you have that patient buyer and they're cool with waiting, now I don't expect them to wait 2 months. Even in those rare instances where that happens, eventually you're going to have to give them their money back because you set a date to give it ample time, usually about 3 weeks. And then after that time, you're going to go ahead and issue the refund. But again, 99.7% of the time, it's going to deliver within that time period. And in those instances, it doesn't. Then you issue the refund, keep an eye on that tracking. Once it eventually shows delivered a month after that, then you call eBay and be like, yo, I need my money back because this item did eventually deliver and I issued a refund, but it did deliver. So, and eBay may have a window of time they can do that. It may be time that they can't do it anymore. I don't know that. But again, in my experience, they will issue the refund if it shows delivered after you've already issued the refund. So there's that. That's all I got to say about that. Let's go ahead and keep this moving. 4 sales for a total of $100.07. Dismal, absolutely dismal, especially coming off of a $400+ day. Now we're back to $100. So first thing that sold was Skyrim, $16 free shipping on that one. Skyrim free, 16 free ship. Hyrule Warriors sold for $40 plus shipping. Monster Hunter sold for $19 free shipping. And I've had this thing forever. $10 little Blues Clues, nighttime Blues Clues. So for $10, I'm pretty sure I picked this up for $1. $10 plus shipping on that one. So there's that. Terrible sales, but you got to take the good with the bad. So there's that. That's all I got for you guys. Do appreciate you guys hanging out with me again today. I'm going to get this stuff packed up and out of here. This is all the stuff from last night that I got packed up last night when I had you guys with me last night. All that stuff is packed and getting out of here today too. And that's all I got for y'all. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday. Tonight's football Thursday. So if you're a football watcher, have a wonderful time watching some football. If you're not a football watcher, have a wonderful time doing whatever it is that you enjoy doing. But tonight is football night again. So I love Thursdays. So enjoy the rest of the day, everybody. And we will see y'all tomorrow, assuming we have sales, which I hope we do. You'll see me again tomorrow. So appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you drop comments. Make sure you ask questions. I love questions. And Shed Flips, if you end up watching this in its entirety, drop a comment. Let me know that you watched. You know, that'd be nice. That'd be cool. I mean, you know, I'm just your average Joe. You guys are big time, but I do enjoy your content. So, but anyway, have a wonderful rest of your day, everybody.